happy, and with an amazing woman. I have never told this to anyone, but I feel it may help someone, so I will here. When I was 17 I got a new job, and my WS-17F, if wrong term please correct me, was in the interview process with me. Well, days and weeks and months passed by and we turned into an emotional connection, and then about 6 months after meeting we were dating. We both worked in the same department at a grocery store, and we would always take lunch together. All was great, till the belittlement and controlling nature of this woman started to show. WS started to change. She left the grocery store and worked at a big corporation pizza shop, and that's when she met the AP. Well, in the middle of all that happening, she was cheating on me. I had proposed to her in the fall of the year earlier 2019, and I was so happy, and everything changed in an instant one day. That one day was a hot summer day. I was 20 and she was 19, and I remember picking her up for work and her being distressed and wanted to go back to get her car, and she wanted to go home alone. I was asking what is wrong, and I got the cold shoulder, and I brushed it off as she must be sick. She cheated for 6 months without me knowing, and it turned from a EA to a PA with her AP. I had suspicion of it happening but no proof. Well, I was in college at that time, and the day before I graduated I got a text on a piece of paper that was written on and stated all that she had done, and she gaslighted the whole time. I asked what did I do, and the only answer she came up with was I was too controlling, which I never even wanted to control nothing. All I did was ask if she was safe, and that's all I asked. 2 weeks later, 2020, I got a call that she was about to KLL herself because her AP was leaving her and told her to KLL herself, so I came back into the relationship and the cheating happened again. I left for good and left her crying while she had a knife to her throat, saying she would KLL herself if I left. I felt horrible, but I'm thankful she never did. I was called, texted, emailed, dog poop on my door, and many other things with notes of "I hope you die." Some examples of abuse after her affair started, but we weren't finished. For example, I had to do things like buy a gift for her every month, and if she didn't want it I got the cold shoulder. Even one time I was effed to go out of state just to get her a shirt, because if I didn't, I was cold-shouldered and threatened. Now I meet a woman that treats me beyond what I deserve and cares for me in ways I have never felt. I told her all the experience and told her that my emotional baggage was out the door and I only wanted to be with her. We are now looking for a house and trying to get married in the next year or two. I am thankful for only being engaged for nearly a year, and I'm so happy I never got married to WS. Life gets better, so love yourself and heal and leave emotional baggage behind. Redditor's reactions. Story 2 after. Redditor 1, she clearly had undiagnosed mental health issue. Likely either bipolar or BPD. Op answer, she was diagnosed with a personality disorder. I hope she gets the treatment she needs. Redditor 2, I'm glad you didn't marry that woman. She was only testing your obedience as a servant to the master her by ordering you to fulfill her ridiculous needs. She isn't into you, she's into keeping you as a doormat. Op answer, I agree, which I was just so subservient for no reason, and I am thankful I saw that before. Redditor 3, it's great to hear a story about a toxic abusive ex that moved on to a happy ending with a new partner. To say that you dodged a bullet is a serious understatement. Hopefully your ex gets the therapy and help she needs. Op answer, thank you, and I did dodge a bullet, but I want people to know that it's okay to leave when a spouse is abusive. Story 2, Ita for refusing to do a DNA test. My dad found out my mom was cheating and she won't say with who or when, but we know it's likely around the time she was on a stay-at-home mother. Thing is, she had all of us 2 brothers 1 sister around the same time, so any one of us could not be my father's. He's divorcing my mother and wants us to take a DNA test to prove we're his children, otherwise he isn't paying for college for us. He promised to do so before this and all of us have been counting on it. My sister oldest did the test because she was confident she was related to our dad. She was likely pre-cheating and she looks the most like him, so I was pretty she was. She's also in college and is relying on our dad, and he's going to keep paying because of the results of the paternity test came back positive. I have a feeling I'm not my dad's biological kid since I don't look anything like him, and people even have commented I don't look like the rest of my family. I'm terrified because I think he's upset enough that he won't talk to me anymore and definitely won't be paying for my college. I don't want to take the paternity test because I don't want to know, but if I don't I probably won't get college paid for. The money isn't in a college fund but set aside as investments my dad has and isn't going to my mom in the divorce proceedings probably. I don't know how things will go and I'm starting college in September. I stupidly picked a pretty expensive school because I thought my dad would pay for it and he said it was okay, but now even if my mom was willing to, I don't think she can afford it. I'm so mad at her and my dad for putting me in this position. I've told him I'm not doing the test and he said that's okay, but he will assume I'm not his and not have anything else to do with me once since I'm 18 already. I'm living with my mom but not talking to her because of this. Edit, after reading some of the comments I've decided to do the test. I didn't want to out of fear, but now it's clear it doesn't really matter and it's better I know for sure. Redditors reactions, story 3 after. Redditor 1, so you're 18 and just found out your dad may not be your dad, and he's punishing you for something beyond your control. NTA, your mother is clearly in a shoal. Your dad is being in a shoal to treat you as a stranger if you're not getting a DNA test. Edit, thanks for the awards, we've got a lot of kind strangers about. Redditor follow-up, this is a no-win for Op. Even if it turns out he is DNA related, he'll always know his dad was willing to throw him away over a piece of paper. Redditor 2, NTA? Your parents suck. I'd have the DNA test done personally just to find out, and if you aren't your dad's, try to figure out who your bio dad is. It will help later down the line if your doctors ever have any hereditary health questions. You don't have to now for sure, but I eventually would once I came to terms with it. I am so sorry you are going through this. That is so shitty to deal with as a 17 or 18-year-old kid. Go to the college you think will be best for your future. I funded my own college. My parents didn't pay a dime. You can do it. It's harder, but you are capable. Redditor follow-up, was going to say exactly this. Take the test for yourself, Op. It's info you may really need in the future. It is so unfair of your dad to do this, he still raised you, FFS, he just sounds like he wants to hurt your mom through you kids. NTA? Redditor 3, oh hun, course you're NTA, but what are you gaining by not taking it? Is there anyone you can talk to? Your dad is being awful, I can't imagine being willing to walk away from my child, and you are his child whatever a blood test says. Op answer, my mom is trying to get me to not take it, I think because she knows I'm a result of her cheating. Story 3, Ita for kicking my pregnant girlfriend out of my house when I found out the child wasn't mine. My ex and I had been together for 2 years. It was rocky for the last couple months when she lost her job and just seemed to refuse to look for work, just living for free in my house, causing me to have to financially support us both. I also suspected she was cheating on me, And eventually I broke up with her and she left to live with her parents. A few weeks later she comes knocking on my door to let me know she's pregnant with my child. She was practically beaming with glee. I agreed to let her stay with me again as my home would be a healthier place to stay as her mom smokes like a chimney and refused to stop smoking inside when she found out her daughter was pregnant. Didn't want my child subjected to that. The one caveat to this arrangement being we would go in a couple weeks and get a paternity test done. She very happily agreed. Her reaction actually washed away some of the fears I had about her possibly cheating on me. So she lives with me for a couple weeks and we go to get the test done. We find out that the child isn't mine, and like a switch is flipped, I honestly no longer care about that kid anymore and tell her to pack up her exit and get out of my house. This was a week ago. She moved her stuff back to her parents' house, but is staying with a friend to avoid the cigarette smoke and other problems there. She, her friends, and even a few of our mutual friends are texting and messaging me about how I'm a terrible person for doing this to that innocent child. That I have plenty of room in my home and I should just help her out. I feel like I've been through the emotional ringer these past months and I've been through every emotion I am capable of feeling. From realizing I was possibly a father to the betrayal when her cheating was confirmed, honestly I feel so emotionally raw and sometimes I agree with them. That maybe I should take her back, and just care for the kid. Was I unfair to this unborn child? Am I a total piece of acid for not wanting them in my home in this vulnerable time for them? She cheated on me, but is this a situation that I should suck it up and take care of them anyway? Redditor's reactions, story 4 after. Redditor 1, she, her friends, and even a few of our mutual friends are texting and messaging me about how I'm a terrible person for doing this to that innocent child. Suggested reply to each and every one of those cocksuckers: lead by example, even though the baby isn't yours, let her live with you. Show, don't tell. NTA? Redditor 2, NTA, she is lying, cheating, sneak that was using you in the worst way possible. Drop all those people now. You dodged the world's largest bullet, my man. Holy S-it. Redditor follow-up, yeah dude. If you're not a parent now, I don't think you can fully grasp how lucky you are right now. This thing could have gone way differently. Take some time to reflect on how blessed you are this weekend. Cheers. Redditor 3, not the a shoal. She cheated on you and got pregnant, none of her situation is your responsibility anymore. Redditor follow-up, she cheated, didn't use Dom, let the other guy see M in her, choose to keep the bastard, and tried to humiliate you but making you raise the orgasm of another man. You would have no self-respect to keep her in your life. Redditor 4, NTA, she is your ex, and the child isn't yours, they are not your responsibility. If anything, she should go to the father if the child not you. Story 4, Ita for ruining my work colleague's wedding and getting them arrested. The title sounds bad, but hear me out. I 38F had two work colleagues, Mary and Adam, both in their late 20s early 30s. Mary started in the company first and then she got Adam to join. They worked in different departments and Mary was in mine. Later, Mary left the company to pursue another career. When they started at the company, they were already married for a few years. Now Mary is the kindest and loveliest person I've ever met. She was always polite, helpful and would cheer anyone up. We missed her dearly. So it came to a shock when we found out she is divorcing Adam because he has cheated on her. I have called her to express how sorry I am that this has happened to her, and we were talking almost daily ever since. I was impressed how well Mary holds herself in such situation. She wouldn't badmouth Adam, and the only thing she mentioned was how her wedding dress and a few family heirlooms went missing when she was moving her stuff from their apartment. She thought they might be misplaced in a different box and will turn up eventually. A few years passed. I now work in the same department as Adam. He is a good work colleague, but can be dismissive and ignorant sometimes. Adam invited me to his wedding with the lady, Chelsea, he cheated on Mary with. As the entire department was invited, I said yes, making sure Mary is okay with this. I've also told her where the wedding will be. It's not too far from where she lives, and we could go for some drinks after if she wanted to. On the day of Adam's wedding, I have noticed that Chelsea is wearing a similar dress that Mary wore in the photos of hers and Adam's wedding years ago. So without thinking, I have snapped a picture and sent it to Mary with the caption saying, "Doesn't this dress looks familiar?" Mary saw the message, but she didn't respond, and about an hour later the police shown up at the venue. I need to add, the police in our country is ruthless, and any theft is considered a criminal matter for the police to deal with. Police has asked Chelsea to take the dress and all the jewelry off. Chelsea refused and started arguing with them, and then Adam joined in. As they were rude to the police, they were taken to the police station. Everyone at the wedding had to leave. I have tried to call Mary, but she wouldn't pick up the phone. As we found out later, Chelsea was wearing Mary's wedding dress and her heirlooms. Mary spotted them on her in the picture I sent to her and called the police. Apparently, she has previously asked Adam if he had them, and he declined, saying he never saw them. So after she saw the picture, she knew he was lying and stole them. Chelsea had to leave the wedding dress and jewelry at the police station and go home wearing her underwear and Adam's jacket after they were bailed out. Yesterday Adam returned to the office and went completely mental at me, blaming me for sending a picture to Mary and ruining his wedding. He would also call me in a shoal for what I did. Redditors' reactions, story 5 after. Redditor 1, so Adam cheated on his wife, stole her wedding dress and heirloom jewelry, and then passed them on to his new fiancée, who may or may not have known. All you did was alert the ex-wife, you didn't call the cops. She did because she knew the background of him stealing from her and lying about it. I think it's pretty clear that Adam's the asshole and possibly the police for the very severe way they handled this. NTA? Redditor follow-up. New wifey knew. No way would you go through wedding planning and not go dress shopping. Because he already had one. Doubt that he would have his mother act like it was her dress and wanted her to wear it. Redditor 2, NTA, I can't believe he would give his ex-wife's wedding dress and family jewelry to his new wife to wear in their wedding. I wonder if the new wife was told where he got them. I'd almost guarantee he made up a story about them being his family heirlooms. Redditor follow-up, that was my thought too. Why would she agree to wearing a dress she didn't pick out? He must have told her it was a family dress or something. Redditor 3, NTA, I mean yes, technically you are the R from Adam's perspective, but you are totally justified in sending the photos and giving Mary the opportunity to get her things back and get some well-deserved revenge on that thieving R. The wedding was the only chance for her to get back her possessions, as they were out in the open with time to get them. If you sent her the pictures after the wedding, Adam would have had chance to hide or sell them. You absolutely did the right thing at the right time. Redditor follow-up, this is so true. I imagine it's similar to when someone breaks into your car. The police really can't do anything unless they catch the person doing it. Sure, you make a report, but your stuff could be long gone if they ever even catch the thief. I don't even think the police are the R's either, like other people have commented. Just doing their job, lol. If only someone had called the local news. That would have been hilarious. Redditor 4, NTA, I don't think you did anything wrong. They stole this woman's things and wore her freaking wedding dress. Did they really think no one would notice? That his ex wouldn't find out? Nope, 100% they are to blame. What woman in her right mind wants to marry a man in the same dress he married his ex in? That's some weird crap. Redditor follow-up, what woman in her right mind wants to marry a man who cheats on his partner? Story 5, Ita for telling my fiancé there's no take-backs. Here's the thing, I 27M proposed to my 26F fiancé, yay. The proposal time was a surprise, but the actual proposal was not. She knew it was coming for a while, but this is where it starts to get a little weird. I got her advice and opinions on the perfect ring for her. We both make decent money, but I wanted it to be special, so I saved up about $9,000 of my spending money over the years we lived together so I can afford to have the perfect ring for her. She was pointing out this ring and that ring and these rings, how perfect they were, what her ring size was, what kind of cut she wanted, what setting, what band, etc. Anyways, I landed on the perfect ring for her, she approved of it, and we were all set, just waiting for it to be fitted properly. The ring came in about 3 weeks before the proposal and I made it special and she said yes, excitedly. I'm talking dinner, wine, roses, back rubs, movie in bed, the whole shebang. There was not a detail I missed. I can assure you I went full perfect boyfriend fiancé now Lamau. Cuter now, which is now 5 weeks after the proposal, and suddenly the whole style of cut and setting that she wanted for her ring is awful. Apparently she made a huge mistake with what she wanted, and now suddenly she doesn't like it. I asked her maybe just wait a few weeks and see if your mind changes. You never know, maybe this is just proposal jitters or something, and no, she's adamantly against it. I told her in no uncertain terms that this ring cost me a lot of money, and we did research for months, almost a full year together, and I thought her mind was made up. I can't return the ring, so now I'm kind of ducked, and she's crying and telling me to leave her alone all night tonight. I personally think she's being childish, but I called my mom and she tells me that I should have gotten her something she wanted. I told her that I did get her something she wanted, but now she doesn't want it. Now my mom is telling me to just sell it for a loss and get one she does want. I said duck all that, not trying to be mean, but I'm not going to return a ring that cost me almost 5 figures just because she changed her mind 2 months after I bought it and had proposed. I think she's talking to her friends now, but I'd what to think anymore. Am I being an asshole by not returning it? I could technically afford it, but this will put a huge dent in my savings and our overall account in general, not to mention how stressful all this has been for me. Edit, no longer engaged, she cheated on me. Edit 2, I'm done guys, sorry for the essity edit. Redditor's reactions. Op comment, so. Kind of an update. Not sure if anyone is going to read this, but I managed to talk to her about everything. She cheated on me with some dude at her work, and his wife has a very similar ring to what I got her. According to her it was the one time, but honestly I don't care. I'm very much a you cheat on me, you're dead to me kind of person. That's why she was crying and freaking out, I guess. I'm stuck with a ring that I can't use and a fiancé that's not a fiancé anymore. I'm a wreck and I hate it. Redditor follow-up, I'm glad you took the advice of some people here and realized that there's an underlying issue, and at the same time I'm sorry that the issue was something so unfixable. Cheers to a brighter tomorrow. Redditor 2, NTA? Dude, if she's going to throw full-on crying fits because she changed her mind and is now stuck with a $9,000 ring, cut bait and run now. Op answer, I'm not going to leave her over this, but in my mind this whole situation seems pretty messed up. Redditor 3, NTA we married 25 years ago. Husband could not afford a ring. Still married with kids, house, etc. Still don't have a ring. It's not about the ring. Redditor follow-up, I have to second this. I'm engaged now, both of us agreed a ring was a complete waste of money even considering that we could afford one. I feel like anyone putting this much emphasis on the ring and even picking it out themselves and laboring over its tiny details is getting married for the wrong reason, and the future is already not looking bright.